And I talked about wishing it was game week and already to that point. How much are you looking ahead to that, and do you wish it was, or do you like the extra week?
I need the extra week just based off of not being here over the past 4 years, just to see how practices ran. I know there's probably a lot of similarities, but just to make sure that I'm repping it enough, repping it right. You don't want the kids to be too gassed going into the game. If I'm putting too much on them or not. So, this mock week is not great just for the players. It's also good for me as well, just to get acclimated to how the flow of practice goes. So I'm pretty excited to go through this week, and next week I can make corrections and tweak if needed.
Curious, every coach has deficiencies at this time of the year. Where you've been, you've probably dealt with them. What are some of the things that you can overcome as a coach, and what are some of the things that you really worry about going into an opener?
That's the hardest part. I was talking to Coach Gibson this morning. You just don't know where you're at as a team. You're going up against each other. You don't know how good or how bad you are. So those first games, really just the first game, you're going to come into it with really multiple game plans. That's why you have enough time to actually do this. From game planning your certain type of run game to, what if they come out and they play man press the whole game? What if they come out and play zone the whole game? What happens if this person's having protection issues? What happens if we can't get off, there's certain looks that we're just not capable of getting open on, what's our answer? So there's multiple game plans that you have to put together. We're going to go in with a plan which we believe is correct, and we got to be able to change on the move and make in-game adjustments as best as possible.
Have you seen enough to say, okay, this isn't going to work, get rid of it, get it out of the deal? Are there things that you've seen enough of to be able to make those decisions or calls?
Currently, right now?
Right, with your guys?
Yeah, there's a few. There's a few where now you start having the personnel talks, and, you start really saying that if I'm going to run this play, I need to have this kid in the game rather than that kid, because this kid's not very good at maybe possibly running that route or running that type of run game. So that's kind of where the discussions go, where you've got to put that kid in the best position to have success. Don't ask him to do something that he's not capable of doing.
I know you weren't here for the Miami game last year, but some of the things that they threw at the offense that they didn't have answers for, do you feel like you're going to have some more answers for some of the things that were thrown at them?
Yeah, and I think that's a lot with what Dan and I did over the offseason and stuff. We sat down and he evaluated himself, I evaluated myself from what I did at Cal, and we really combined it all to be like, all right, if a team does this to us, this is our answer, and this is our answers on these certain situations as well. So I thought it was pretty healthy for the both of us to sit down and evaluate ourselves of what we were good and bad at last year, and try to make sure that we're prepared for that in the future.
I'm not sure, though, with scheme, it was probably more personnel.
And that's a lot to do with things. I can tell you going into the game we're going to have great schemes, but it always changes based off of the personnel and where you're at as a team and how things are going, because there's a lot of moving parts out there. There's a lot of kids, offensively, we have a lot of inexperienced guys out there. We really do. Will Greer hasn't even played in a year and a half, so who knows how his first game jitters are going to be. I think he's going to be fine. We're going to bank on him being fine, but you always have to have that backup plan lingering in the back of your head on certain situations. So, that's a lot of just trying to get the feel of the game, and you got to try to get on top of it pretty early too.
And that stretch guy covering all the field, down the field, you feel like you've got that?
Yeah, I think we do. And I feel comfortable with it. I don't think we have the depth that is needed, but that's kind of up to us to put these kids in the right spots.